So I'm going to share a really cool video today that I hope is going to blow your mind. I have been having another level of awakening recently, and it's to do with the power of our focus to actually shape our reality, right? It's not just true in how we manifest money, love, or purpose, but it actually can come down to our physical body. Tripping over the dog there. I've been going through this beautiful journey this year, letting go of these expectations that I placed on myself to be perfect, literally just eating what I love, moving in a way that's loving, and letting go of these, attachments to perfection that honestly were making me unhealthy. And I learned something through this process that your belief systems even have something to do with what you weigh. They have something to do with the shape of your body. And what you eat, ultimately, it almost has nothing to do with how your body weight turns out. Dig into this, right? What if I told you that trying to control your food, like I used to, in fact, I think I've controlled what I eat for the whole of my life since teenage years, because I wanted to get the body that I thought was right. Yeah. To look like the Barbie doll with the slim waist and the big boobs. And it actually might be the complete opposite of the solution. So you've probably heard that where your attention goes, your energy flows, right? But do you really get how deep that goes? How that can play into how your body manifests in shape, regardless of the food that you eat, regardless of the exercise that you do. When you are obsessing over food, following a strict diet, attaching an outcome to a certain way of eating, that is your attention focused on one thing. Now, in the quantum field, we have infinite possibilities, right? There's a multi-dimensional reality of you, and all of those versions are possible, depending on where your attention goes. Where your attention goes, your energy flows, right? So if you're sat in a limiting belief system that I'm not enough or I'm not perfect unless I look different, or you're sitting in the belief system that a certain food will make you fat, that if you change something about yourself, then you'll finally be worthy. The mind-blowing truth is that your body is listening to every single one of those signals. Those belief systems have a vibration, they have a frequency. They are a signal to what manifests in your physical reality. Your body is also a frequency. Yes, it's here in the here and now, in flesh, in muscles, in fat, in bones, but ultimately it is a frequency. So when your focus is fear, shame, and I'm not good enough, your body is actually going into stress. Your hormones are going into haywire. Your digestion is actually slowing down. And ironically, your body holds on to weight. If you're also in that lack of enoughness, in that lack of worthiness, you're in a place of deep unsafety as well. And your body is going to hold on to the weight as protection, as a barrier between you and the physical world. Your belief system is, and this is where we come down to the frequency, I am imperfect. I am not enough. I am unworthy. At this shape that I see myself as I project this image and hold this image and put all of my attention into this, all of my focus, that is what is going to manifest as your physical body. So the more that you focus on food as the problem, you're telling yourself that food is the problem, the more it becomes one. So we can also say that it's not just what we eat, it's what we believe about what we eat. If we eat something with love and reverence, we are creating a high frequency. If we look at the thing on our plate and we feel bad about it. We're creating a low frequency. The frequency actually shapes how the body responds. Everything is energy. Think about it. Two people can eat exactly the same meal. One has all these limiting belief systems about themselves, about notions about the food. One feels guilty, afraid, convinced they're going to get fat. The other feels joy, appreciation, pleasure, and total trust. Their bodies are going to process that meal completely differently. We see this across different cultures in the world, like France. They're able to eat bread, butter, drink wine. And that is because of the culture of the food, the way that they are brought up around the food. They are brought up to eat as ceremony, to love together as families at the dinner table, to really have reverence for the food. They're not obsessed and they're not terrified. They're in pleasure. They're eating all this bread, butter, and drinking all this wine, and yet they're one of the healthiest nations in the world. Pleasure changes everything. And we can bring this principle, I call it the pleasure principle, #the pleasure principle, into everything, right? And we should. Everything into our world, everything in our world, our business, the things that we do with our time. We should be focusing on pleasure first because it changes the frequency. Unconditional love neutralizes everything. Our body shape literally neutralizes to the truth of us, which is love. So this is going to turn everything on its head, right? That you've learned. You know, modern day life has taught us that we have a problem, we have to go fix it. We have to do something to fix it. There is a transaction between our effort and a result. It's not true. All you have to start doing is living from love. When you live from love, your body softens, your nervous system relaxes, even your hunger and your fullness recalibrate. You stop needing food as an enemy or a crutch, and your body gravitates naturally to the shape that it was always meant to be. I was reflecting this morning that my shape right now and my hair, I've left everything just to be. And I am practicing unconditional love, not going into the gym and training myself into the ground every day because I don't feel good enough as I am. Not obsessing over the food that I've put in my mouth today, the calories that it's got, the type of food it is, just literally focusing on resonance. And in that way, eating badly actually doesn't become a thing. It's not an issue anymore, because when you feel the resonance of something, you are going to naturally gravitate towards the highest frequency. You are going to naturally gravitate to the food that is good for you. As I said, it's not filling a need. It's not acting as a crutch. It is literally an energy. You are an energy, and you attract what you are. So when you are love, when you are unconditionally loving of yourself, you come back to a place of neutrality. You come back to a place of natural perfection. Your true I am, within and without. So the focus on food to get the shape that we love, it's actually the opposite of the solution. And as these videos in this series, Beyond the Matrix, that I'll link in the description, has said, in our life, in our love, in our business, the same thing keeps coming up. The stuff that we are taught is actually the opposite of how we change things. There's been the same message without, and that is that focusing on lack creates more lack. So focusing on the lack of the body you want creates more lack. And the real magic happens when you look at every single part of yourself and you can say, I love you. I love you as you are. You are absolutely perfect, imperfectly perfect. There is no polarity. Live as if you're already worthy and beautiful. Pour your focus into joy, creativity, and embodied loving, embodied living. And from there, food's going to become neutral. a beautiful, nourishing part of your life instead of a battlefield. I know that battlefield. It began when I was 16 years old. My first boyfriend. Everybody in my class was skinny. Nobody had big boobs. I've always naturally had big boobs until I started training Muay Thai. And then my boobs disappeared. I starved myself half to death and my boobs disappeared. Now these beautiful boobs are back and it's taken some time to get used to them, to be fair. But it is me. It is me and my truth. It is me without starving myself. It is me without driving myself into the ground, because that's hate. That's punishment for who I am in truth. And again, you will make those good decisions when you love yourself. You will choose the high vibration food. You'll feel attracted to it. It will become a cycle of love, and that love will pour out of you as well and come back to you in more abundance. So before you think this is all woo-woo, let me blow your mind one more time. Science has proven that stress hormones like cortisol make your body store fat. There is something called the cortisol face. Your face blows up and is bloated when your cortisol is high. They have proven that positive emotions change your gut microbiome. They have proved that visualization shifts your metabolism. And they have proved that meditation changes gene expression tied to weight and inflammation. So yes, the unseen forces are literally shaping your body. So I'm going to sidestep a little bit now. And, I really wanted to talk about something that would catch your attention and talk about something that potentially is an issue for you. When I stopped coaching, when I moved away from trying to force people to change, I began creating Ritual Base. I realized it's not just a music, it's a frequency tool. It brings your body into the vibration of trust, into the vibration of love. And this trust and love is your highest timeline. So when your body is coming into that vibration, what do you think starts to happen on the outside? When your body feels safe to receive, you start taking actions that match the timeline where you do love yourself, where you do trust food, where you do trust yourself, where you do trust other people, where you don't have to obsess over anything, including food. Everything begins to shift into its natural balance. What is that natural balance? We see it all around us all the time. Nature is in its natural balance. When something tips one way, something tips the other way. We all rush in and try to change everything in our life when it feels uncomfortable. But the truth is, everything will come into natural balance if we surrender. We surrender because we trust ourselves, because we trust our creative power. We can change anything in our reality with that creative power, not because we force it, but because we come into this place of absolute unconditional love. And I believe this is why I've been so called into Ritual Base, not just as music, but as a living technology. In 2023, I had a past life vision come through of Egypt, ancient Egypt. And after this vision absolutely blew my world apart, was literally the thing that led me to stop coaching. That probably had a lot to do with me leaving my marriage. I began to discover the goddess Hathor, and she was the goddess of music, the goddess of dance, the goddess of love, and the goddess of sexual alchemy. Not just as a way of healing, but as a living technology. Hathor was actually one of Isis's initiates in the mysteries of sex magic, but also the mysteries of sacred sound. Some say that she used her music not just for pleasure, but to shift reality itself. And through my reconnection to ancient Egypt, I have remembered the practice of redirecting sexual energy, creative life force from purely physical feeling and release and attachment to love, to safety, to worthiness, into higher creation, self-alignment, and union with Source. It doesn't mean suppressing your desire. It means refining how you work with your own sexual energy. I have done a whole series on this that I will link in the description. You're basically learning to circulate the sexual energy so it fuels your embodiment and is not an externalized longing. Again, nothing can be created in abundance from lack. We have to be in abundance to create abundance, which means this beautiful sexual energy, this creative life force that we have. So Hathor's sound temples supported this flow of sexual energy, and they worked with an energetic template of the body that included the 13 cities of the Kabbalah and their wisdom, so that this energy within moved through the wisdom of each city as an energetic imprint on the inside, as part of your energetic blueprint. Without mastering this, union actually collapses, right? It collapses into distortion, where you end up in codependency, you end up being controlled or controlling, and you end up in need. You live from need, you live from lack. The life force stays stuck, right, in the lower chakras. And what mastering sexual alchemy, mastering sexual transmutation is, we learn to actually lift this energy up. So it is fueling our intuition. It is creating our heart's knowing and divine union. And this is how we reclaim the body as a temple. So the city of Yesod was the foundation, effectively your root chakra, holding your sexual energy, containing your creativity and all your soul contracts. And when we are in lack, when we are not in worthiness, when we are not in unconditional love, we leak this energy, right? And it creates distortion on the outside. It creates the obsessions that we have with food, with people, with doing. It creates our unhealthy attachments and our addictions as well. But if this energy transmutes upward, it fuels the Tippereth, which is our intuition and our Christ consciousness. We start working from that place of surrender that I mentioned, right? Where we're not attached to an outcome. We're not in distrust of ourselves. We're not in distrust of anything. We are connected to divine plan. And ultimately, this energy transmutes up to the city of Udal, which is our freedom. But it has to go through the heart knowing. We have to come back to the truth of ourselves, that we have this creative power, that we are manifesting everything, that everything is energy, and we can literally create whatever we want, as long as it is also by divine will. So sex transmutation is the bridge between these lower gates, instinct, survival, primal desire, and the upper gates, the heart, the knowing, the freedom, the union. I talk about this deeply in my series, How to Get Out of That Instinct, Survival, and Primal Desire, because you're reflecting the same energy everywhere, right? In your business, in how you eat, okay? You are feeling like there is a lack of something, either within or without. And so you are attached to outcomes, you're attached to things, you're attached to people. None of it exists. There's only you. There is no other. It's all being created from your energy. So in doing this powerful work, you remove dependency on anything as the source of your wholeness. Your sexual energy is your creation energy, and you start using it as such. You no longer need anything outside of you to feel that wholeness, to feel, I hate that word perfection, but I'm going to use it because it is an imperfect perfect. There is no perfect, right? You are you. I am. That's it. Everything else is a role, a responsibility, an experience, a label, an attachment. You clear all that karmic distortion as at the root of the dynamic. If Yesod, the foundation, isn't mastered, then the soul bond just remains tangled in all these old cords, the shit that you've brought through from lifetimes. You're just going to keep recreating it instead of anchoring in sovereignty. That is truly what I mean about being beyond the matrix. It is about no longer unconsciously bargaining with your body or your energy in the hope of anything. You just become a temple of love. And union means that everything is available to you. So ritual base is my way of carrying forward those codes. It weaves sound, frequency, and embodied energy to help you transform whatever you want to, whether it's your body, your business, your love, your entire timeline. Because sound has always been more than just art. It's magic, it's creation. And so I'm going to leave you with one last thought. Instead of thinking, what should I eat today to make my body acceptable? Ask yourself, how can I love and honor myself right now? I promise you that is when your body is going to become what it was always meant to be. And that is simply a vessel of light, health, and your unique beauty. So if you want to go deeper into this frequency shift, then I have a whole library of affirmations, practices, food approaches, all sorts of things inside my QuantumLeap Portal. You get a trial free for 7 days at the link in the description. Plus, if you want to feel this shift in your body now, I am recording a live session next week, which will ultimately go into that portal if you are watching this sometime in the future. It's called the Sacred Nothingness. It's 1 hour. It's 4 rounds of beautiful breath, pure sonic alchemy. And I will link the event down in the description for you to jump on as well. Always remember it's the unseen where change happens. And just by believing that, we create the reality that our soul came here for. Love you, you are worthy, and you are already perfect.